Have you ever wondered why you've always felt different, even when you tried your hardest to blend into a world that never seemed to match your inner frequency? That feeling wasn't a flaw. It wasn't weakness or confusion, or an emotional phase you were supposed to grow out of. What you've been sensing your entire life is something far more profound, a subtle signal coming from the quantum field, whispering to your consciousness that reality is not what it appears to be. And deep down, a part of you has always known this. You've felt the pull of something invisible, something ancient, something that moves beneath the surface of everyday life. You've noticed the strange moments, the synchronicities, the déjà vus, the impossible thoughts that appear out of nowhere, the intuitive knowing that arrives before the mind can explain it. For years, you carried these experiences alone, trying to convince yourself they were coincidences, misunderstandings, or tricks of the mind. But what if they were none of those things? What if everything you felt was real? Because the truth is this: your quantum consciousness has been awake far longer than you realize. Your subconscious mind has been decoding fragments of a hidden reality, picking up frequencies that others simply cannot perceive yet. And every moment you felt different, every time you sensed you didn't belong, every silent question that echoed inside you, all of it was the first stage of a spiritual awakening you were never taught to recognize. Look closely. The world around you is built on structures that assume reality is fixed, linear, predictable. But the quantum field doesn't operate that way. Reality is fluid. It shifts with observation. It bends to vibration. It reacts to consciousness. And your consciousness has always been slightly ahead of your surroundings, slightly misaligned with the expectations placed upon you, slightly tuned to a frequency most people aren't aware exists. That is why you felt the disconnect, not because something was wrong with you, but because something was right with you. You've been resonating with a deeper signal, a frequency that lives behind thought, behind emotion, behind identity. And every time you sensed that the world felt too loud, or too empty, or strangely artificial, it was your inner self recognizing that the life you were living did not match the vibration you were meant to embody. And maybe no one ever told you this, but feeling different is one of the primary markers of an awakened mind. A mind that already has one foot inside the unseen layer of existence. A mind that feels the tremors of possibility before they solidify into form. A mind that was born to question, to observe, to break patterns, just like the particles that defy logic inside the quantum realm. So ask yourself, why have you always known things you couldn't explain? Why do certain people drain you while others ignite something inside you? Why do you absorb emotions, energy, and meaning in ways that others rarely notice? Because your consciousness is operating like an antenna, tuned into frequencies beyond the surface of ordinary reality. You've been interacting with the field of infinite potential, whether you knew it or not. And the more your vibration rises, the more you begin to feel the tension, the misalignment between who you were told to be and who you are actually becoming. This tension isn't a sign of collapse. It's a sign of realignment. The truth is, you were never meant to remain asleep inside a scripted world. You were meant to outgrow it, to pierce the illusion, to remember something you once knew before you ever arrived here. And now, as your subconscious awakens and your perception shifts, the field begins to respond, whispering, guiding, pulling you toward the next layer of truth, the one that reveals why you felt different your entire life and why everything is beginning to. Before we go any deeper, if even one sentence already resonated with you on that quiet, unmistakable level inside your chest, understand this clearly. That is not random. That is resonance. It means your consciousness is already tuning into this frequency, already aligning with the message unfolding here. And if your mind feels slightly pulled forward, almost as if something in you already knows where this is going, that is the field responding to you. So take a slow breath, feel that subtle shift inside you, and tap subscribe, not for me, but for yourself. Because what we're about to explore has the potential to change the way you understand your reality, your energy, and your entire inner world forever. You didn't imagine it. That subtle feeling of being out of place was never emotional fragility. It was perception, a higher perception your consciousness couldn't yet explain. For years, your mind has been picking up signals from the quantum field, tiny shifts in vibration and frequency that revealed a reality hidden beneath the ordinary world. This sensitivity you carry is not weakness. It's evidence of an expanded consciousness, a subconscious signal that has been trying to guide you toward your own awakening. Some minds are wired to detect energy before it becomes visible, to feel the vibration of a moment before it unfolds, to notice patterns long before others realize something is happening. According to theories of quantum consciousness, perception itself can reach beyond the limits of logic, and you have felt this for as long as you can remember. You weren't misaligned. You were prematurely aligned with a deeper field of information. Your intuition knew long before your thoughts understood, and now that you're here, listening, sensing, remembering, let yourself acknowledge what your inner world has always known. If any part of this resonates, share it in the comments so this community can grow through real connection and not silent isolation. Like this video if you feel the shift in your energy, and subscribe if you want to keep expanding this inner space with people who live in the same frequency. What we're uncovering is only the beginning, and the next layer of this hidden reality is already waiting to reveal itself. And if these words are beginning to stir something inside you, there's a reason. If you felt different since childhood, it wasn't because you were out of place. It was because your consciousness was already tuned into non-local information long before you had language to describe it. Experiments in quantum entanglement show that systems can remain connected beyond space and time, and sensitive minds often perceive these subtle fields instinctively. Your thoughts, emotions, and sudden intuitions were never random. They were early interpretations of the quantum field, echoes from a reality occulta trying to reach you through vibration and frequency. You didn't fail to fit in. The truth is that the world you were placed in was too small for a consciousness expanding faster than its surroundings. Feeling disconnected doesn't mean something is wrong. It means your frequency no longer aligns with the older version of reality you once walked through unconsciously. This is what awakening truly feels like. A shift inside the mente subconsciente that quietly transforms your perception until you can no longer pretend you don't feel the energy moving through you. And if any of this is making sense, pause for a moment and comment, "I feel it," not as a gesture for the algorithm, but as a way of acknowledging your own expansion of conscientia. Like this video if the field resonates with you, and subscribe if you want to keep strengthening this space where higher consciousness finds connection. What comes next will take you even deeper into the hidden layers of perception, and the next revelation is already beginning to form. And as this inner shift grows stronger, you may notice that nothing around you feels quite the same. You are not breaking, you are realigning. The discomfort you feel is the vibration of your old patterns dissolving, the subtle collapse of identities that no longer match your frequency. When the mente subconsciente begins to awaken, it disrupts the familiar pathways of perception, creating a strange emptiness that feels like losing parts of yourself. But this emptiness is not loss. It is space being cleared for the expansion of conscientia that is already unfolding. Your old reality cannot coexist with a higher vibration, and that is why everything feels unfamiliar lately. The thoughts you once believed, the emotions you once held on to, the versions of yourself you performed to fit in, they no longer anchor you because your energy has moved beyond them. This is the moment when synchronicities increase, when the campo quantico tries to guide you through signs, impressions, and intuitive nudges that seem impossible to ignore. The sensation of not belonging is simply the transition between vibrational states, the shift from a limited reality occulta to a broader field of perception you are finally able to access. When your vibration rises, your old reality collapses first. And although this collapse feels disorienting, it is the clearest confirmation that your desperate is spiritual is real. If any part of this resonates with your own consciousness shift, share this video with someone who also feels different. It may be the message their energy has been waiting for, and together we strengthen a community shaped by awareness, frequency, and connection. And as we move forward, the next layer of this awakening is already beginning to reveal itself. And as you stand in this widening space within yourself, something becomes unmistakably clear. The real reason you never fit into this version of reality is because you were never meant to remain inside the limits it imposed. You were meant to outgrow it, to stretch beyond the patterns that shaped you, to feel the tension of a world too small for a consciousness already expanding towards something larger. Every moment of discomfort, every feeling of misalignment, every question that lingered in your perception was not a defect but a signal, a vibration from the campo quantico urging you to notice that your mente subconscious was awakening long before your life made space for that awakening. You have lived your entire existence sensing what others overlooked, absorbing frequencies that didn't belong to the surface world, perceiving hints of a realidade oculta that has been following you like a shadow of truth, waiting for recognition. And now that your conscientia quantica is beginning to stabilize, it becomes impossible to deny that the pull you felt was never internal chaos. It was guidance. It was the field aligning you with the version of yourself capable of seeing beyond the structures you were taught to accept. This wasn't in your head. This was the quantum field trying to wake you up, nudging your perception through energy, patterns, coincidences impossibles, and emotional echoes that only made sense once your frequency finally rose to meet them. And if you're awake now, you'll start noticing something strange unfolding around you. Shifts in timing, symbols that repeat, intuitive insights that feel louder, the subtle sense that reality is communicating back. Nothing is random at this stage. Nothing is coincidence. The universe begins to guide you through synchronicity signs, quantum communication, and the invisible architecture of meaning that surrounds every moment of your awakening. If you feel this happening inside you, share your voice below and speak it into existence. Comment, "Yo desperto, yo vejo alem," or "Estoy expandiendo," so your energy meets the field halfway and strengthens this community of higher perception. And as we continue, what comes next will reveal even more of what the universe has been trying to show you. If this message reached you, it wasn't random. You aligned with it. Something in your consciousness resonated with this frequency, and the field brought you here for a reason. Before you leave, anchor your awakening into reality. Write in the comments, "I always felt different." The moment you speak it out loud, your subconscious begins to realign with the truth you've always carried. Like this video so it reaches others who are silently experiencing the same shift. Subscribe so you don't walk this path alone. This community exists so awakened minds can finally find each other. And now, go to the next video. Because once you understand the signs the universe uses to guide you, your entire reality begins to shift in ways you can no longer ignore.